seen already my Bible. And yes, I am a man of faith, but today we're not going to speak about Christianity. We are going to talk about a bigger, better, and stronger topic. Enrique is a transformational leader. He transformed the meeting. The classroom was so exciting. You are a transformational leader. Thank you for what you did with us. My question for you is, do you know who is Socrates?
Yes.
Do you know who is Aristotle?
Yes.
If you know who is Plato, please stand up.
If it's who?
Plato. Who is Plato, please stand up. We are talking about the greatest Greek philosophers. Okay. Now you can put your hands down, but please just keep standing. My question for you is, who among you remembers one of the teachings of these three philosophers? Only one teaching? Daniel, do you remember one?
I just know
That I don't know.
Okay, good. Who said that? Who of the three said that? Aristotle. Now, those who did not remember, please take a seat. Daniel, Kenneth, please keep standing.
Thank you, brother.
Only two people remember the teachings of one of these three great philosophers. Only two people. You can take a seat. My question for you is, do you remember a teaching of Jesus?
Yes.
Please stand up if you remember the teachings of Jesus. You can take a seat. Thank you. You know something? Aristotle talked for 40 years. Socrates talked for 50. And Plato talked for another 40 years. That combined is 103 years. Do you know how many years Jesus taught?
3.
3. But his words have been the most quoted words that the world has ever heard. They resonate in our ears. They are sticking in our minds. And I want to tell you something. One day I was talking with my best friend from high school, and she told me, Josue, and she is one of my best friends in life, and she told me, Josue, what do you know about leadership? And I shared with her what I know about leadership. And then she asked me, where did you learn that from? And I replied, if I have ever known anything about leadership, it comes from one person. And she said, who? And I told her, you don't want to know. And she replied, oh yes, I do want to know. No, you don't want to know. Please, I don't want to know. No, you don't want to know. Please, I want to know. And then I said, okay, I will tell you. But you will not like it. The person that I learned from is Jesus. And at that moment she goes like, oh. And I told her, you see, I told you, you don't want to know. And let's see why Jesus was so transformative. Let me tell you a story about Jesus when he was coming to Jerusalem. He was coming and everybody was shouting and saying, Hosanna to that son of David. And there was a short man, perhaps shorter than me, and I'm already short, who wanted to see Jesus, but everybody was so tall that he could not even see a little bit of his hair. So he figured it out and decided to go and climb a tree, and he was hanging from the branch of a tree. And then after he saw a figure, and interestingly, they crossed their sides. They crossed their sides. And Jesus told him, Zacchaeus! And at that moment, I think that he was shaking. How did he know my name? Maybe he wondered. Zacchaeus, go home. I will eat lunch today with you. Prepare everything. And everybody was so angry and mad at Jesus, it didn't make any sense. What does Jesus have to do with Zacchaeus when he was an evil person? Even Zacchaeus maybe was like, I just came to see Jesus and now I'm going to end up receiving him in home to eat lunch. But Jesus saw in Zacchaeus what the crowd did not see. Jesus saw more than everybody else saw. Jesus saw Not who he was, but who he could become. Jesus saw who he was, but he saw deeper. He envisioned a better Zacchaeus. Jesus was a transformational leader. The words of Jesus, the things that he saw were so impacting, some life-changing, that today we remember them. Who can remind me about a teaching of Jesus? If you would like to share it. Enrique, por favor, please.
Love one another.
Love one another. And that resonates in our minds. Something else that comes into your mind?
Be humble.
Be humble. And Jesus said things that did not make sense. He said, if you want to be first, you have to be last. If you want to be the master, you have to be the servant.
Oh, the servants.
And he said, and the meek and the humble shall inherit the earth. Do the meek and the humble inherit the earth? No. He said things that did not make sense at all. No sense. But he was courageous, he was brave, he was bold, and for a few people, he was blunt. Jesus, as well, spoke from his heart. And for many people, he was a magnet, attractive crowds. But in the same time, he was repelling those who wanted to build their own kingdom. I'm going to ask David to please help me start playing a video about Jesus, the transformational leader, seeing what others could not see and saying the things that nobody else could say.
Is it this one it is?
It's the next slide. No, not yet.
The truth. I say to you that this poor woman, I cast in more than they all. For all these have of their abundance, casting unto the offerings of God the sheaf of a penury, is casting all the living that she had.
Jesus said that in order to be first, we had to be last. But I would like to remind you of another words that I love about Jesus. He said, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. My question for you, are you having life or are you having more abundantly? Ask that question to the person who is sitting with you. Are you having life or are you having it more abundantly? Remember, it wasn't Norman Vincent Peale who said, everything is possible for he who believes. It was Jesus. It was not Robert Schuller who said, if you believe in God, all things shall be possible for you. No, it was not Robert. It was Jesus. It was not Tony Robbins who said, if you have faith like as small as a mustard seed, you will move mountains. It was Jesus. The words of Jesus changed the history and shaped the life of everybody. If you want to be a transformational leader like Jesus, you have as well to believe in random things. Jesus believed in things that nobody else could believe. He believed that he could feed thousands with with few pieces of bread and few pieces of fish. Jesus believed that the sick could be healed, that the blind could see again. And he said, for he who believeth, all things shall be possible. He believed that the blind could see, that the deaf could hear. He believed that the lame could walk and the deaf could rise again. He believed that a thief could be honest again. And he did not only want to tell us and show us how great he was. He was transformational because he said, for those who follow me will not only do the things that I do, but even greater things. You are the one who has the power to do greater things than him, because he is developing every person. He developed everyone who was nearby him. Jesus also felt passion. He was angry when the thieves were selling things and stuff in the temple. Jesus was surprised at the faith of the centurion. And Jesus was compassionate at the faith of the woman with the issue of blood. That was Jesus. Somebody who transformed the history of the world. Thank you.